welcome back. Another week of our video blog series. We are talking about, again, corporate citizenship this month. My name is Derek Thompson, founder of TNT Creative Group. We are here with my partner in crime, Mr. Michael Sims. He is the Vice President of TNT Creative Group. And you know, I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'll let him, when you're in the presence of greatness, you let them just kind of roll with it. So I don't want to do you a disservice. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
Well, I appreciate that, Derek. And yeah, me and Derek are partners at kind of hooked right on to the hip. Been with TNT now in the creation of it and serving as Vice President. Mainly been extremely happy with the direction the company has gone and looking forward to some of the things that we're going to be offering to our customers through this video series and just the things that we're going to be able to do overall in the future.
Right. So let's, since we're talking about corporate citizenship this month and we're trying to help people to understand how to go about creating their own initiative, a lot of times we get asked how to do that. But first off, let's talk about Tweens and Technology, since that's something that we did create. Why don't you tell everyone about how that was initiated and kind of, you know, why we started to do that on our own?
Absolutely. One of the things that yourself and I, we were doing some reading and we found out that in the United States overall, we're ranked literally in science and technology number 25, and it depends on what statistics you look at. It's something a little bit higher, maybe around the 20s in the world. And if you look at how the United States was leading overall amongst our children as far as in the science and technology industry, being ranked that low really kind of hit myself and you. And we looked at, as far as with us being a IT company and some of the things that we do, that there's something that needs to be done, especially because we're in that industry. With that being said, came forth the creation of Tweens and Technology. And we said that, hey, it's not only something to get that stat number back up, but it is also an investment back into our business itself, because these are some of the future ones that's going to be here at TNT. So it was extremely important for us to take that and look at that as an initiative that was going to help us, of course, overall with children, but also just reinvesting kind of back in our business for the future. And we look at it from a standpoint that there has to be some different initiatives that we looked at within initiatives. And we looked at 4 different ones, and to how can we inspire, how can we teach, how can we help them to learn better, and how can we prepare. And we took those 4 things and we modeled those off of the Tweens and Technology program that we have today, which is really flowing, outstanding program. We look at, from the first one, inspiring by actually motivating them, creating an environment that's going to be conducive for them to feel like they can achieve. From the teaching we brought in, we have outstanding teachers that come in and actually that are top notch, and they're not just giving them the level from where they're at, but the level to where they're going. Also, just the learning environment. The learning environment is also conducive so that everybody kind of can, get on the same page and continue to grow. So from the 4th graders on up to the 6th graders, each stage is not only just exposing them to Scratch, but which is a program, and also to such things as they continue to grow in robotics. And last but not least, but preparing them, that last one. And we just look at, hey, what's the things that we can do to prepare them for that time when they start going from 6th grade on to middle school, on to high school, and hopefully on to college, where they're getting out in the IT industry.
So that's a great explanation of Tweens and Technology and why we created that. So with that said, now, what is the first thing that a company should do if they have the initiative or they have the idea to go ahead and start their own entity in the community? What's the first thing they should do?
Well, it's a couple things. The biggest thing is to look at what is going to embrace, what initiative is going to embrace the company, the people that you have in your company, and what initiative is also going to embrace the community. That everybody's going to feel a a passion about that. They can kind of gather around and we can all kumbaya around that whole thing. Also from there, you got to put together a plan by actually taking and looking at getting those people within your organization who are going to be potential leaders in this, and they're going to push this thing. Those are the ones you're going to have to look at that's going to have to get it off the ground. Time. As a company, you got to say to yourself, do you have the time? What time to be allocated towards this? Is it going to be in the morning? Is it going to be afternoon? Is it going to be evening? So those are some of the things that you're going to have to think about. And one of the biggest things is that I really push is twofold. Your launch, which is going to have to be something that, when it's time to go, it's a big pile that everybody likes, hey, all right, this is it. This is the rah-rah thing that we're doing. And last but not least, a lot of people, what they don't understand is the completion of it. And that's seeing it to the end.
Right.
Wherever you start, you have to finish. I think of a particular initiative that when we started and we did some years ago, that in the first year, it did pretty well. But the key thing is we completed it to the end. And the following year, the particular initiative grew twofold, but I still say it's based upon the fact that everybody saw that we were serious about it. And that's the key thing with it. When you complete it all the way to the end, people understand that you're serious about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great insight. You have to see it to the end, as you stated. And so you've done a lot in the community, both through TNT Creative Group and before that. You started the Kids Cafe program in Clayton and did some other many other things. What are some of the lessons learned that you can share based off of all of the work that you've done in the community?
Good question. One of the biggest things I would say is don't put yourself so much in a box. Be open to all ideas. Create something that's going to allow everybody to be able to volunteer, to become a stakeholder, to be able to contribute something to the program. And one of the reasons why I say that, most programs, especially when you're looking at volunteering, and I'll use this as an example, you mentioned the Kids Cafe program. We initially were worried about the staffing part of it, but when we told people that, hey, when you come into this, let us know what hours you want to work, and then we'll work around that. It was amazing the amount of people that came in, and the irony of it is we were able to fill out and complete all the hours that we needed to do, based upon what day or time. But again, when people know that, then they don't feel so confined or restricted. Again, just being open and not putting yourself in a box.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I see many people kind of confine themselves too much. So,
absolutely
good advice there. Now, with that said, why do so many corporate initiatives stop or fail? Why are there so many that are started all the time and then they'll get halfway through and they just kind of lose momentum?
One of them is, and we kind of talked about it. We alluded to it a little bit. I was talking about understanding the amount of time that has to be placed into it, the overall initiative, and just understanding that, when we go into this, it has to be something that everybody's passionate about. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to push you. It's right. The passion. So I think those are, and also seeing it, as I said before, seeing it to the end. People kind of drop off, and that's why it's important in that planning stage to put together some individuals who are going to undergird it to whatever the time period is to push it. But again, it leads back to the same thing, passion. Yeah. Passion in anything, even with TNT and how we go as a business, is going to always push and help you out to complete the task at the end.
Yeah, that's the key. I know when Lynn Perkison asked me to name the 3 adjectives that summarize TNT, passion was one of those. So
wow.
Yeah, definitely. Are in sync there. Last question that I have for you today, Mike, is how do companies know when it's time to start their own initiative or partner. You have many that, everybody wants to kind of have their own foundation or start a camp or do something like that. But sometimes it's best to partner with someone.
Absolutely.
What's that that line that kind of determines, or what's that measuring stick to determine if you're maybe eligible to go ahead and start your own initiative?
Derek, that's an outstanding question. A company has to take a look at it twofold. So one of them is, as we talked before, first I'm going to say is time. The other one is personnel. Do you have the personnel and do you have the time? Because if somebody else already has a really good initiative that's going on and your manpower is short and the time that you look at as far as to allocate towards that initiative ain't that much, it's about best for you to go ahead on and kind of partner, with somebody. Large companies, I strongly recommend that large companies embrace starting one on their own based upon, because it also makes the employees get real passionate about the things that they want to kind of do around with the office. Has you allowed to talk about certain things that's going on in the office, allows you to have more fellowship and things like that outside the office.
Right.
And it also acts as an incubator because you have people who come up and start being better leaders, and you can see their growth period in some of these programs. So I think pretty much those are the two things that you need to really kind of look at if you're a company. I do say that hands down that you in this day and age that you do need to be a part of looking at some type of initiative to be a part of.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's obviously a big part of what we do, and having that initiative is key. So, well, Mike, thank you so much for coming in and being with us this week. I know you have some topics that you're going to be coming back and talking about. So
really excited about
looking forward to having you with us there. But until then, we will be back with more. Thank you so much for visiting. You can visit our website again if you have a question about corporate citizenship, if you want to speak with us, if you want to get involved in any of our initiatives, our camp, our Autism Bowl-a-thon, anything that we have, just visit our website or give us a call. Derek Thompson, it's Michael Sims. We'll see you next week. Thank you.